Shamar, when I was homeless and when I was at my lowest, why the bounty hunter weren't looking for me then? Shamar, when I was homeless and I was at my lowest, why they wasn't coming to your house then? Why they coming when I'm finally getting it together? Why they coming when I finally get somewhere to stay? Why they coming when I finally get my furniture? Why they come when I'm finally getting my happiness back? Why all of a sudden now they want to come to your house? Shamar, you was a liar. You was a hypocrite. And Shamar, you want my life to go bad. You want Tommy's life to go bad. You want everybody to do bad because you doing bad. Shamar, it's time right now that you need to stop, get on your knees and pray and talk to God. And I'm not finna keep scooping down to Shamar level. Shamar, you ain't nothing but the devil. Shamar, I done moved in my apartment. You ain't even say congratulations. Because I don't know Shamar mama, but based off everybody that knows Shamar, they say the same thing. They say Shamar mama was a drunk and Shamar mama didn't care about Shamar and didn't teach Shamar nothing. So the fact that Shamar mama didn't teach him nothing and Shamar mama didn't do that, look how Shamar grew up. Shamar, how you love negative things, that's why your life going the way that it's going. That's why your life going the way that it's going, Booka Bud. That's why you like being the drama, so you hang around Shamar. Like you like being around drama, so that's why you hanging around LASHUN. You like hanging around homeless people, that's why you brought all them homeless people to your house. Look at you, Shamar. You was doing so good, making so much money. Shamar, you was riding in black trucks, now you been back riding a 𝗪𝗔𝗧. Shamar, you was in black trucks, now you walking everywhere. Shamar, you got a whole apartment. You leave your apartment every day to walk downtown Atlanta. When neighborhood talk posted you from when that girl seen you and she was so happy to see you, you was like, ooh, I've been out here all day. Why is you outside all day when you got your own apartment? You outside all day with the homeless people. You at the sex club all day. Shamar, if you that overstimulated, if you overlating that bad, Shamar, go to the sex store, get a sex toy. Go buy a vibrator. Go buy a dildo. Go get on Twitter. You don't have to keep going out here to these sex clubs. And then you don't like to go get checked up. You don't like to go check yourself. You just go day and day without checking yourself. Never going to go get no checkup. Never going to go do none of that. You don't know your status. Don't know nothing. Just going to the sex club. Going outside all day, every day. You don't want to shower. You don't want to bathe. You don't want to brush your teeth. That's why you negative, Shamar. No goddamn llama. I wasn't finna sit here and lay with something that's leaning to the side, eyes leaning this way, that way, breath smell like dead people. No, we gonna fix that breath. We gonna fix that hygiene. We gonna clean this house up. And I'm gonna try to fix your attitude a little bit. And then you was able to be dateable. But that's why nobody ain't gonna date you. And that's why nobody not gonna be friends with you, Shamar. And let's get it not because of your disability, but because how filthy and nasty in the way that you treat people in your disability. It's so many people that look like you, Shamar, but smell good, dress good. It's so many people with disabilities and still got good hygiene. Shamar, you disability, Shamar, you have a disability. That don't mean you're not able to use soap. Shamar, you have a disability. That don't mean you're not able to have a good, clean spirit. And then you be having these people in these comments feeling bad for you. They be like, oh, we love Shamar. Why they just treat Shamar like this? Why they just keep on talking about Shamar? Shamar can't help the way that he look. You making these people feel so bad for you because they really love you and they want the best for you. But yeah, and deep inside, you just a nasty-hearted person. Even if you ain't had that disability, you still would have been nasty. You still would have been nasty, you still would have been evil, and you still would have been mean to people. And at first, I was like, dang, man, Shamar got a disability. People just be doing Shamar wrong. No, Shamar do people wrong. Shamar, you do people wrong, too. Because what about all the people that came to love you? What about Shakana? What about people that really came to be your real friends like Eric and CJ? Not the ones that came to use you for your client, your name, and your clout, but what about the ones that really came and really loves you? What about them supporters that really love you and really care about you? What about them supporters that be rooting for you and want the best for you besides your disability? Why do you mistreat them? Why did you go wrong with them? Shamar, you don't care. If Shamar never had that disability, he still would have been a nasty person. Shamar, that's just Shamar at heart. Shamar, and I'm not talking about Shamar mama.
Guys, back with another video, but before I start, make sure you smash that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you do so, making sure that that notification bell is on with the option all, so when I upload these videos, you are the first one to watch. Also, make sure to leave a comment on this video. Very, very, very confusing. Alvo just did a flip-flop, but we all know that he does these flip-flops in the community a lot of times. Now he is on the side of Tommythegossip, you know, talking about the things that when Shamar and Tommythegossip were friends, that Tommy at least did with him while begging, like going on trips and all this foolishness. You know, I think that it's just really hitting home to Alvo, all the legal troubles that he has ahead of him. And sometimes we tend to like to take, you know, things that we brought upon ourselves onto others. And I think that the easiest way to blame somebody and them not be able to defend themselves, like say you or I, would be to blame Shamar. That's the easiest target to take the focus off of what Alvo should have been doing in the first place, so he would not be in this situation. So I want you to listen to what he had to say, and I'm not going to get too long-winded with it, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
Brothers and sisters, y'all know why them people don't be around Shamar? They don't be around Shamar because his attitude. They don't be around Shamar because how he act and how he talks to people. This boy got siblings that's well and alive. Shamar is a nasty person. And if he didn't have that disability, he still was going to be a nasty person. Y'all think up and down people be using Shamar. Don't nobody be using no Shamar. Shamar like to be used. Look at Shamar. Look how much Shamar like drama. Shamar can be hanging with people like LASHUN and Eric and CJ, but he hanging around somebody like LASHUN. At least when he was hanging around, let's be real, when he was hanging around Tommy, they was begging, but guess what? Him and Tommy them was on trips. They was giving y'all content. They was doing stuff. When he was hanging around Eric and CJ, he was doing content. He was doing stuff. When he was around Shekinah, he was doing content. He was doing something. When he get around LASHUN, he fighting crackheads and homeless people. He fighting crackheads and homeless people and all this type of stuff. When he was with Kayla Gibbs, he was doing something. He was making money. He was booking busy. When he was with Fendi, he was doing something. He was making money. Shamar done lost all these people just to go back and do homeless. When you was with me, you see how you was with me? You was feeling good. You was looking good because you was bathing. I had you bathing. You was changing your clothes every day. You was booked and busy. You was doing positive stuff. You didn't even have no time to argue with nobody. You ain't even have time to be with LASHUN. You ain't had time to argue with Tommy. Cause you was actually doing things. Shamar, when you was with me, you weren't even on the internet beefing and arguing with people. And when you had arguments, it was between me and you. It was me and you and our drama. You went from looking so good, being nice, changing your clothes every day, to back looking homeless. How you got a whole home and you look homeless? You really had to listen to Alvo and start jumping on the hate train to realize Alvo is a very wise man. Nah, for real. Like, man, I had to realize, bro, when you manifest the things that you say. If I go on live and I read Tommy every day and I read Shamar every day and I talk about negative things every day, negative things gonna come to me and happen to me. If I go live, if I wake up every day and I say, thank you, God, for waking me up. Today I'm gonna be, today I'm finna make me some money. Today I'm finna do this, I'm finna do this, I'm finna do that. If I think positive things gonna come around me. If I hang with positive people, I'm gonna get positive outcomes. Y'all gotta understand, every day we manifesting. I don't know why they didn't teach us this in school, but every day we are manifesting. Every day when you talk, you're manifest. That's why they say start saying curse words, start saying bad words. They call it cuss words because you're cursing yourself. When you say,
you know, there's a lot of insults to add to injury that, you know, Alvo is up here speaking on about Shamar. We all know that Shamar has flaws. We all do. No one is above like classroom. And we know that Alvo is not either. Right now, I think it's the end of the month, and I'm going to continue to say it is crunch time, and he needs to get up that rent money. He knows that people are not trying to hear defending Shamar. And then, you know, once the defending Shamar runs dry, you know, because the well's gonna definitely run dry just talking so highly about Shamar and so low about Tommythegossip being a bully. It starts to get played out. You have to reinvent the wheel so that people are not, you know, getting bored and they stay engaged. And I think that he's trying to keep people engaged. he's doing a good job at it. But it's just diabolical, some of the things that Alvo says and does, because in another couple of days he'll be jumping on, Tommythegossip and trying to expose him, and Alvo trying to play like he's a victim. I think what he needs to really be focused on, like I've been saying, is going to clear up his legal obligations, get it over with, because the longer he waits, the longer it's going to take for him to get back to his freedom, and also see what lies after coming out those gates of the jail. Is he going to be forgotten about, or is his fan base going to really hold him down and be there for him, so that he's able to not go homeless himself and be able to still make money up on this YouTube platform without being, shadow banned for not, being on a platform for so long. So only time will tell. So I'm going to let you listen to the rest of this mess that Alvo is trying to cause, the mass confusion, and I will be back with the rest of my commentary.
You this, you that, you cursed yourself, because everything you said after that, you sealed it with that profanity, with that cuss word. That's why I be trying not to curse. That's why, lady on live, I've been trying to keep my energy good and stay positive, because I want my living room set, I want my room set, I want my bills to be paid. I'm trying to manifest and vibrate on a higher level. Hey, Shamar, I ain't gonna lie, I'm very upset with you, not because what you said about me, but I'm so upset with you, Shamar, because you don't understand the potential that you have. You keep on holding yourself back because you're so negative. Shamar, get that hatred out your heart. Whatever hatred in your heart, you need to get it out for real. You need to seek, like, you really need therapy. Because Shamar, you is so blessed. Everything you say go viral. You just said Alexander Green. You just said Alexander Green has got 1 million views. 18,000 reshares. People literally, you going so viral on TikTok, everybody acting like you, reacting it, how they be with their boy. Shamar, you was so much of an icon, and you can't even monetize yourself and focus on what God bless you with, because you so ready to be negative and so evil. You want to see Tommy lose everything. You want to see me lose everything. You want everybody to lose everything just because you're not happy with yourself. Shamar, you have to come to terms with your condition. You have to come to terms with your condition, Shamar. You have to accept the fact that you have a disability. You have to accept the fact that you have scoliosis. You have to accept the fact that you don't look like the average people. Accept it and learn how to love yourself and not fake love yourself because you got views. Clock that T. Not fake love yourself because you got fans. You have to love yourself wholeheartedly so you can start to wake up and realize who love you and who don't. Because LASHUN do not love you. He don't care about you.
And just hope, because it was one thing that did stick out that Alvo said that is honestly the truth. And that is, I hope that Shamar is focused on the fact he has about a month to figure out where he's going to move. The lease office does not have any rights to, or he doesn't have any rights, I should say, to feel as though that they are obligated to give him an extension if he so called does not find a new apartment to move in. I think that Shamar is focused on the wrong stuff. And right now, his focus should be on the next 30 days and finding him a new place. Because like I've been trying to tell you guys, and a lot of people were saying they don't think it was going to happen, which is positive thinking. But let's also think about the harsh reality of not taking care of your business and handling it at the last minute, that the rent office by law can put him out the day of the end of that lease, and he would have to leave off that property. And if he was to stay on the property, it would be considered squatting, and they could also get the police involved, and it would be a big thing. Now, if Shamar wants to take that time and energy into getting more time, I think he needs to go into the courts, housing courts, see how much time is allotted because of his disability and misfortune, and be able to take advantage of that. But going back and forth with Alvo, which we all know is a flip-flopper, is not where it's at. He needs to let that stay where it's at. Let Alvo focus on why he's flip-flopping on Shamar, and then flip-flopping back and forth with, Tommythegossip. Well, I know why he's doing it, because he's trying to get that rent up. It's the end of the month for him too. He might not be signing a lease, but it's definitely the end of the month. It's crunch time, and he's got to get those coins.